DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Thursday. It's only a 2-game slate, so this will be a pretty short video. Real quick, let's see what we did last night. So last night I did something unorthodox. I'm all like most of the time, like 95% of the time, I'm a one lineup guy. Last night it was too big of a slate, so I actually made four lineups. My best one here, cashed here for 45. So let's look at this one. This one was just basically a game stack of Oklahoma City and Sacramento, and I added Mo Bamba and Chris Boucher. So that one was definitely my best. But the one I would have entered in cash games was this lineup right here. If I would have played cash games, I didn't. It was too, sometimes. So the slate can be too small where I don't play cash games, or it's just way too big where there was just too many good options where I just didn't feel comfortable putting a lot of money into for cash games. So this probably would have been like my cash game lineup if I would have played. So I took a stance on fading Anthony Davis, Andrew Holiday, went with Westbrook and Harden because I knew they'd be lower owned. Got a little lucky that Anthony Davis did get hurt for a little bit. Larry Nance, frustrating, did get in foul trouble a little bit, so he missed out on about 5 minutes there in the first half. Bielitsa a little disappointing. Greg Monroe, Mo Bamba, those guys were the ultimate chalk. Fred VanVleet, he was a little disappointing as well, couldn't make a shot. And then this guy that I can't pronounce. And then I had Chris Boucher in my other 3 lineups. So I talked him up a bit on Twitter, and my one concern was, which I talked about in the video, was that they would run small ball at the 5 and run Siakam, which that's what they did to close. So Boucher, he only played 10 minutes, but he was very productive. He had 5 points, 2 boards, 3 blocks, and a steal in 10 minutes of play. So he got 16 fantasy points in 10 minutes. So 16 for $3K at minimum price. Definitely not bad. I just wish he would have we had a few more minutes there, but it is what it is. And let's talk about this 2-game little slate real quick. So again, I don't think you can do cash games for this small of a slate, especially. So GPPs, and since it's a 2-game slate, you got to think of ways to how can I differentiate myself from everyone else. So on a 2-game slate where there's really not a whole lot to pay up for, I think one way to differentiate yourself is to fade James Harden, because I feel like he's going to be like 90-something% owned. But man, it's hard to fade Harden right now. This he's playing out of his mind. Just really, really good basketball. The game stays close. He's going to play all the minutes he can handle. So I think Harden's a great play. But again, if you want to differentiate yourself, I think that's not a bad strategy, is maybe fading Harden and maybe just going with Chris Paul, who doesn't have as much upside. But I still think it's pretty decent play here. 8.2K. It seems priced about right. Then we've got Dwayne Wade. So Dragic is out. Tyler Johnson's questionable. Justice Winslow's also questionable. So D Wade could be in for some big minutes, and he has flashed some upside. So I think you could consider D Wade if a couple of those Miami guys are out. So we're going to kind of have to wait for news for that. DSJ, it literally just seems like this guy's questionable every single time. If he plays, yeah, I guess, but I think I'd rather take a shot on a guy like JJ Barea here at 4.5K. I know his minutes, he doesn't see a lot of minutes, but if he's playing really well, they will push him sometimes to 20 to 25 minutes. This guy has huge upside, so I think he's worth maybe taking a shot on. Then we got the Clippers guards with SGA, with Beverly, with Avery Bradley. They're just hard to trust. I think SGA has the most upside out of all of them. You had Beverly, then also he had a pretty good game, the double-double with assists. I don't think I would chase this game. But I definitely think Beverly and SGA I think are better than Avery Bradley, who's just too scoring dependent and put up, I think, like 0.75 fantasy points last slate. And you got Brunson, who, yeah, he'll play minutes if DSJ's out, but this guy just doesn't have upside. Like, he's capped like 25 or so fantasy points. You need upside on a 2-game slate like this, so I don't think I could do Jalen Brunson. Okay, so Doncic here, He's starting to wrap it up a bit. He was kind of just like a very safe, 25 to 35 fantasy point player. But now in 3 of the last 4, 50, 49, and 53. So he obviously has this upside. The match against the Clippers, pretty good here. He's priced all the way up to 8.4, where he might be a little under-owned, but I don't mind Doncic. I know he is priced up, but he's playing some really good basketball. Then you got Josh Richardson, who should play all the minutes he can handle. He doesn't have immense upside, but he does get those peripheral stats. Kind of fills up the stat sheet, which I like. So I think Josh Richardson okay there at 6.8. Wes Matthews. I hate playing these secondary Dallas pieces basically beside like their point guard because they're pretty inconsistent as well. I guess Wes Matthews 4.8K is okay. Eric Gordon, who since he's entered in the starting lineup has really not looked that good, but the thing with this guy is I know he's scoring dependent. I wouldn't play him on a big slate, but he's a guy that could get hot and break the slate. So I think you got to consider Eric Gordon here at 4.6. Avery Bradley again. It's hard to trust this guy, but I think he'll be pretty unowned after that last game. So I think you could take a shot if you wanted to, but it's really hard to trust some of these Clippers guards. Magruder, he's just not seeing enough minutes. Miami's kind of running a bigger rotation. They're adding Derek Jones Jr. into the rotation too. Wayne Ellington, not seeing enough minutes for me to consider him. Let's see. Gerald Green, maybe if the game blows out, this guy can see extra run and he can get hot, so maybe. Other than that, I talked about Brandon Knight, but he's just not seeing enough minutes to even consider playing him right now at minimum price. Okay, let's move on to small forward. And Tobias, who had that huge game, almost a 60 fantasy point game. He got priced up here to 7.8, but I still think it's definitely doable. With Lou Williams out of there, it's just a lot of usage to go around. So Tobias, definitely a good play, I think, at 7.8. And then Gallinari, always my same analysis with him. I always think he's good, but I always prefer to play Tobias and pay the little extra for Tobias. But if you prefer the savings, Gallinari, I think he's certainly okay. Harrison Barnes, yes, he had that big. I don't like playing this guy, but 6K is not a bad price tag. He just sometimes he'll just be a low usage guy, and then sometimes he'll kind of take over. But he's kind of scoring dependent. Like if his shot's not falling, he doesn't really get a lot of assists. He'll get a couple rebounds here and there, but kind of scoring dependent. But again, you got to take some risk on a 2-game slate like today. So I think Barnes is okay. Again, these Miami guys, Derek Jones Jr., I don't think I would chase this. He's been pretty productive here at kind of limited minutes, but I don't know if I would chase this with Derek Jones Jr., 4.4K now. PJ Tucker, he had that huge game against Washington. 3.7K is pretty enticing. This guy does play most of the game. So I think for salary relief, not the worst play in the world here. James Johnson, he's been pretty disappointing. It's just not a lot of these Miami guys are just like seeing like 15 to 25 minutes. So it's hard to play a lot of these Miami guys. DFS, I can't do it. Just not seeing enough minutes. Danuel House here, 3.5K. It's pretty interesting. Again, he's going to play like 15 to 25 minutes, and he's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. So, I don't mind taking a shot in this guy. If his shot's falling, he definitely can exceed value there at 3.5K. Okay, power forward, let's see here. Who have we not talked about? Montrez. So after a kind of down week or so, I'm starting to pick it up here. 26 and 27 minutes the last two, 34 and 30 fantasy points. So 5.8K seems a little cheap for him. My only concern is Dallas does run big with DeAndre Jordan. So maybe the Clippers, maybe they add Boban in the rotation. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's my only really worry with Montrez. 5.8K seems a little too cheap. Then you got Bam here at 5K. This guy's been closing the games out, and I think he's okay. I think I would rather pay the 2,000 extra for Whiteside and take the shot that maybe, just maybe, Whiteside finally closes the game, but it doesn't seem likely with Eric Spoelstra. He just seems to run Whiteside out there for like 23 minutes, and then he closes with Bam Adebayo. Kelly O, so this guy just seems a little too underpriced here at 4.7. The issue with him was early was he just wasn't seeing enough minutes to consider him. But now he's starting to see consistent minutes, 25 to 30 or so minutes. This guy can get hot behind the three-point line, so he just seems a little too cheap. So I do really like Kelly O today at 4.7. So Dwight Powell here at 3.6. I think you could take a shot if you wanted to. Dirk just really not seeing more than like 5 to 10 minutes right now. And it looks like Dwight Powell's just going to play the backup 5 here. So I think Dwight Powell's okay here, 3.6K. Let's see. And then we got Nene is out for Houston. So the backup 5 role is going to go to either Marquise Chris or Hartstein. But the thing is, Chris, let's see, he played 4 minutes. And then Hartstein played, he played 6 minutes. Washington kind of play small ball. So I think you could take a shot at one of these guys. I just don't know which one is going to play the backup 5 here because they both played minutes last game. But I honestly think taking a shot at one of these guys wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Capella, he's not going to play the whole game. Miami runs big. They have Whiteside or Bam. So I think either Chris or Hartstein are going to play like 15 minutes or so at minimum price. It's just the tough part is I don't know which one is going to be the backup 5. If I had to guess, I would say Hartstein, but it's tough there. So, again, these are the kind of things you have to consider on a 2-game slate like this, like literally taking a shot on a minimum price backup guy who will play 15 minutes. Okay, so center position, again, Capella with Nene out of there. He's seeing some good minutes, and Miami runs big, so they're going to play him, 35 or so minutes. So I think Capella pretty okay here at 8K. DeAndre Jordan, if you guys have watched my videos for a while, you kind of know how I feel. I just don't like playing a guy who does not have a much offensive game. So I'll pass on DeAndre. Whiteside, so this is a play I might take a shot on again. Spoelstra, he has not been closing with this guy. Like, I don't know. I don't remember the last. I think, Utah was the last time he came back in. He played 34 minutes, got 60 fantasy points. So if he plays the fourth quarter, this guy is huge upside at 7K. So I might take a shot on Whiteside and just hope that Spoelstra brings him in for the fourth quarter, but it's pretty unlikely that he will. And then, okay, so Boban here. So they're going to start Gortat, 3.4K. I just don't know if I could do Gortat. I guess for salary relief, he'll probably get you like 15 fantasy points. But Boban here, so he'll come off the bench, but they might use him a bit because Dallas does run big. So maybe take a shot on Boban, and maybe the game blows out and he sees run. If the game blows out, Boban is going to get you there, definitely. So I think there is merit to maybe taking a shot at Boban. Because, again, you have to differentiate yourself today on a 2-game slate like today. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Again, I tried to break it down as much as I could for a 2-game slate. It's kind of hard when, again, there's only really 2 games to talk about. But I tried to break it down as much as I could. So, I really think you kind of have to differentiate yourself today if you want to win a tournament. Take a shot on one of these really risky guys. And, I think that's probably the best strategy. So, if you guys have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. I know it's only a 2-game slate, but I will give my thoughts if any news comes out there. And I'll be back. We got a big slate on Friday, so I will see you guys then.